In this video, I'm gonna be talking about the versatility and the dominance of men, biologically born men, alright? I'm not gonna be referring to any trans men because they're still females. Anyway, so back to the topic. Let's start off with who are the richest people in the world. We have Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos, Jensen Huang, and Warren Buffett. With all the list of names I have landed out, there appears to be a pattern. Might be a coincidence, but remember, these dominants are no stranger. But anyways, when it comes to the upper ranking extremes, majority are males. And the population of males are much more than females. And even in the past, this is even in history books. And maybe a few decades back, this is pretty much the same case. But most of the time, the positive upper extremes and higher ranks are the only one that's being noticed. But the same dominance can be applied to the opposite end of the spectrum. Let's let's start off with basically the opposite of being just let's start off with lower extremes and who's the most wanted criminals in the list. John Joseph, Ruffalo, Anthony Burroughs, and etc. and so on. Now these lists are kind of like the opposing forces. The categorized extremes of society is all dominated by males as well. From the good and positive side to the bad and illegal negative side. Let's not shy away from that truth, everyone. Did you know in nature over 5,000 mammal species follow a male-dominated animal society? And do note the sexual dimorphism in species where males compete for harems and territories. Basically, it's kind of like the same thing as, but much more toned down in human societies. Anyways, anyway, and also, males are often larger, stronger, and more aggressive than females. The very history of Homo sapiens, male-male competition, is the second rule of our existence. The the com, com the com, the competition for resources, status, and mating perks. We all must accept we males have higher sexual pursuit, behavior, and the urge to compete, fight, win, and conquer. But remember, I am not justifying, I ain't justifying any crimes, alright? I'm not justifying to do horrible actions. I'm simply describing something. You may notice that many males who's very rich and powerful, and many males are also in the most bad actions known to man. The greater male variability. The greater male variability. Many aspects and corners of life males are much more prone to becoming the richest, most powerful person in history, and but also the most evil and baddest people in the world. So the versatility of males are much more broad than you may remember, due to you know, most actually, majority of rich and wealthy people are males, and innovators in science are also males. 98% of carpenters are males. Also, 61% of higher level professional kitchen positions are males. Famous scientists, past and present, are males, and even in the modern world, majority of top earning gaming and entertainment YouTube channels are led by males. The success rate among male creators is likely higher than the average female, yet still rare. But let's cut the glazing towards males. Let's slice off the glazing and focus and shift our focus towards the opposite end of the spectrum. Despite the great and noble excellence of males, we're also the very own villain of the play. Once the drive of a male gets transformed into something more negative, we become our very own demise, not for us, but the people among us. I'm gonna be mentioning basically every crime rate and how much percentage of men doing it. So, bear my words, I'm gonna be saying very sensitive things. Anyway, I'm gonna just say it. Forcible rape, 98.9% done by males. Robbery, 87.9% done by males. Homicide, 98% males. Burglary, 85.0% males. Arson, 83.3% males. Motor vehicle theft, 81.5% males. Alright. Now I do understand off topic. Off topic, let's talk about misandry. Now I see why many women are becoming misandrous, because they always bring this up. Anyway, sexual harassment and violence. Men are primarily the perpetrators, and illegal drugs are also 98% males. Males really do have absolute grasp and insane versatility in everything. Beauty is also an underrated feat of males. People tend to familiarize and associate beauty to females only. But remember, from avians, mammals, fish, reptiles, all have some male sexual dimorphism. Basically, where the male becomes the absolute rizzler. Anyway, let's start off with the stats. 68% of bird species, 45% of mammals have males bigger than the females. And then fish and reptiles is common too. In the world of rizzle, in the, just straight up rizzing and clapping cheeks. Anyway, jokes aside, Now, how do I say this and apply this to human males? I mean, I do acknowledge we're very monochromatic creatures, but I want you to look at this in a bodybuilding view. Males have actually much more higher advantage when it comes to building muscles than females, due to majority of muscles needing testosterone in order for them to grow. And muscles also have a faster growth in size and strength than females. Alright, I do admit that's a very garbage take of mine, just like the rest of my take. Anyway, now you must know from ancient kings, leaders, conquerors, Greece, China, and literally many more, and even in the Bible and the prophets from Islam, and in tribes and many other cultures, all of the men have long hair and not trimmed down to short length. Now, what do I say about this? Well, one thing you must understand, I do not intend this in a discriminative and hateful manner. It's simply an innocuous statement. I am not hating or reducing the value of women and just females in general. I am simply saying the insane versatility of males. Anyway, did you know human males are much more prone to becoming gay and much more prone to becoming a transgender woman? Like, how crazy is that? I mean, take a look at we got a freaking we're now also conquering literal Olympics. I mean, we got a bunch of athletes competing against biologically born females, etc., and so on. And not to mention beauty pageant. We got freaking who's that again? Anyway, the Vietnamese trans woman who won 30th place in, I remember, Miss Universe 2025, I believe. I don't remember exactly, but anyway, so imagine that. Males are so goated that we are becoming our own kryptonite. And imagine this, like, we are also so dominant that we are now conquering female only spaces. I mean, we get the freaking beauty pageant surpassing the actual beauty of other beauty contestants. Like, how crazy is that? Now, this is where I pull out my